Y'all already know I like to get right into it. Let's do it, all right? 5 signs that you are a weak man, okay? The good thing is everyone can change, everyone can evolve, everyone can become the best version of themselves. But these are just 5 little signs that are showing that you need to change, bro. You need to change. Let's work on it. Let's do it. Number one, you can't stand being alone, bro. You can't stand being alone. I'm the type of person that if I want to go out to a restaurant, if I want to go get, let's say I want to go to Outback, I'm really craving some Outback, and that's on my meal plan. I'm gonna go to that restaurant whether I'm with my friends, whether I'm with my family, whether I'm with a woman, or if I'm by myself, bro. If I want to do it, I'm gonna go do it. If I want to take a trip out of the country, which I've done multiple times by myself, I'm gonna do that, bro. I'm not gonna let someone else not being a part of what I want to do stop me from doing it, okay? Number one, you can't be alone. Weak men hide in groups, bro. I don't care what anyone say, bro. If you are a grown man and you can't be alone, if you can't be by yourself, what are you running from, bro? Because strong men are comfortable in solitude, because when you're in solitude, bro, it allows for you to self-reflect and become a better man and get closer to God. What are you running from if you can't be alone? You know that guy that's always around somebody. He's running from something internally. Something's not right if you can't be alone, fellas. I don't care what you say. If you can't be alone, that means you're constantly in a need for validation, entertainment, and people around you. There's something wrong with that. You have to start enjoying who you are alone, because when you're constantly around other people, it doesn't give you a chance to kind of like slow everything down and really focus on yourself at all. You're drowning yourself in other people's energy. You're drowning yourself in other people's problems. You're constantly interacting with other people, but you need to start pouring into more into yourself. And when you're by yourself, it forces you to become, well, either make you or break you. But on this channel, we're talking about making and becoming a better version of ourselves. All right. So number one, you can't be alone. Number two, you live for others people's approval, fellas. You care too much what other people think. You want to start making videos on YouTube. You want to start putting out stuff on TikTok. You want to do all these great things that you feel it deep inside of you, inside of your heart, inside of your gut, that you feel like you'll be so good at. But the only thing that's stopping you is you care too much about what other people think, bro. You care too much. You sacrifice your own values to avoid criticism. People, family, friends, their opinions, their thoughts rule over the thoughts that you have for yourself. And that's a problem. Why do you care what other people think about you? Majority of people in society don't even like themselves. They look in the mirror and they don't like themselves. So why do you care about the opinion from someone who doesn't even care about themselves? Does that make sense? No, that is number two. You live for other people's approval. The moment you stop doing that and you start doing what it is that you want to do, and you do it whenever you want to do it, as long as you're being a positive asset to society and making this world a better place, and you feel like it's the right thing to do, then fuck what anybody else think, bro. Number three, you never stand on principles, aka you are a yes man. All right, you say yes even when you want to say no. For real, you have no backbone. All right, you have no fight in you whatsoever. If I come up to you, right? If I come up to you and I don't even say anything to you. If I come up to you and spit in your face, right, in front of your child, you're gonna be pissed, bro. You're gonna be pissed. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care who it is. You're gonna be absolutely pissed, bro. And you just gonna let somebody do that to you? My point exactly. You avoid conflict even when something bothers you, all right? You don't stand on your own principles as a man, all right? Sometimes it's okay to avoid conflict. I get it, We live in a world where there's a lot of chaos and destruction and a lot of crazy stuff going on, and it's okay to avoid conflict. But sometimes you got to be able to put your foot down against people, bro. Sometimes you got to be willing to stand on your principles by any means necessary. Now, I'm not telling you to do anything violent or to do something out of the ordinary for no reason, but just in general in life, whether it's at your job, whether it's with confrontation, whether it's just anything like that, that you feel like it bothers you deep within the depths of your soul, bro. You have to be willing to stand up for yourself. All right. Number 4, you allow your emotions to control you, not inform you. This is a very important one, fellas, because a lot of men end up in prison because they allow their emotions to control them, not inform them. There are a lot of men in prison because they are very feminine men. They allow for their emotions to rule over them instead of thinking logically, thinking for the long-term plan. They're just thinking in the moment, and that moment, bro, of straight anger, of straight of lust or whatever it is. A lot of men in general, if you allow your anger, your lust, your fear to dictate your actions, you are allowing for your emotions to control you, all right? Just like right now, I'll give you a perfect example. I didn't feel like making this video. I am tired. I have been up since 2 a.m. But you know what? I did not allow my emotions to control me. Why? Because this is my purpose. I want to put out these videos. I have to put out these videos. This is my path to success. This is me honoring God with my life, is putting out these videos. And another thing is, when you allow your emotions to control you, that means you're not grounded in your masculinity, okay? AKA, you're not practicing stoicism. The most masculine men you probably know are very stoic. They're very grounded. They're grounded and unshakable like a mountain. They don't allow for little things to rattle them. And that's what you want to be. You don't want to allow for small stuff to get you out of character, all right? Because the moment you do that, that means the devil wins. And then this is the last one, number 5. You fear your own potential, bro. This is a very common one, okay? This is something that I feel like all of us go through. You don't even got to admit it, bro. Look, I'll admit it. Man, it's scary when you finally decide to make that switch into your life. Do you like, you know what? I want to become a better man. I'm ready to do this. I'm tired of being average. I want to see how far I can do this. I want to see how far I can go. I want to see how much I can evolve, right? You fear your potential. You know what needs to be done to improve your situation or yourself, but you choose not to because it requires change. Change is scary, all right? The fear of the unknown is scary for anyone because you know that path to success, that path to change, it requires responsibility. It requires discipline. It requires a completely different mindset. It requires a whole different version of yourself. And that is scary because you never did that before, fellas. But think about it like that. Think about it like this. If you don't do that, then basically, and you stay the same, you're dying a slow life because you know deep down inside yourself, you already want to change. So if you don't go with that change and you don't make a change, the longer you hide from that change and you avoid that change, you're dying a slow internal death because you know you're not living up to your potential. You know you're not living up to your potential, bro. And then you allow for comfort to be your prison, bro. And that is the worst thing you can be as a man, bro. That's the worst situation you can be as a man, bro. It's because you know you can be better. You know you can do better. But you allow for comfort to settle in your life. And now the shackles of comfort are weighing you down. And now that is affecting your finances, your mental health. Everything about your life would just become drastic when you allow for comfort to become your prison. And then you wonder why your wife is cheating on you and she doesn't look at you the same anymore. It's because you lost the drive in yourself to become the best version of yourself, fellas. That's all I got. That's 5.